So I will call the meeting to order. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's recording. Okay. Okay. Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Here.
Masajak,
Here.
Monzon,
Here.
Pelletier here, Puzo,
Here.
Swanson,
Here.
Jost.
Here.
Great.
All right. Thank you. So first we have approval of the regular board meeting minutes from February 11th, 2021. I think I saw a couple little things, but first we'll make a motion. Sorry, I'll make a motion to approve the regular board meeting minutes from February 11th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Go ahead if anybody had, I didn't want to talk over anybody. I don't know if someone was ready to say something.
It looks like it says those answering roll call were trustees Gonzalez, Jost, and then it says absent trustee Jost. So that was confusing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't catch that.
Yeah. So yeah. And I'm
Yeah,
sure
I was there.
you saw that, Pam. Yeah.
I just corrected it just now.
Yeah. There was just that. And then on the very first line, just that the Board of Trustees met on January 14th. I think just like the date of the previous month was still there.
Okay, those are both corrected.
And that was it. Did anybody else? That's all I saw. Did anybody see anything else? Okay. So then the motion will be approved. The minutes will be approved as amended.
Correct. Okay. Excuse me, Masajak,
Yes.
Monzon. Monzon.
You're on mute.
Yeah, yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Pelletier, yes. Puzo,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Jost,
Yes.
Gonzalez.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Next, public comments, agenda items only. It's just us tonight, it looks like. Next, president's report. I don't have anything. So we can go right into committee reports. Finances first.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the financial reports for ending February 2021.
One second.
Are there any questions? Well, wait a minute. Let's start with the cash statement if that's okay, because that's the first thing I pull up. Any questions on the cash statement?
No, but I like how I open one thing and all the financials are just one thing I have to scroll through, Pam. It's really helpful.
Yeah, I figured that was probably easier, especially as I was sending things out in email to keep them all grouped together. That
Yeah.
way people weren't flipping back and forth. So I'm glad that you guys like it that way.
I like
That was really helpful. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go in the order that we got them, then the income statement, which is what we usually go through. Any questions? We still haven't gotten any tax money though, right? That doesn't come, because it was just paid in March. This is February, right?
This is February. We have started to see some of the tax dollars. I checked the other day. I can log on to our bank statement now if everyone wants to know, or I can send it to you in email, but we have started to see some money from the taxes. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Hmm.
Let me
Oh.
look really quick.
10% of it at least.
Yeah, so like I said, let me look really fast.
No, okay. All right. Well, I got the PMA, that's usually, pretty much self-explanatory. The interest is what, the interest. Check register, any questions? Which one was it? 5071.
I'm looking at check 5059 and it's $33,562. Just, what is that assurance agency?
That's the insurance. The staff insurance, right? That's always that, that's WIN.
Which check number?
5059.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I think what happened there, that's 2 months worth of insurance. With Bridget only coming out a couple, sorry, I've got 2 monitors here. So with Bridget only coming out a couple times a month, there's been some crossover. So anything that's paid over will be either, credited towards future months. But normally the health insurance is about half of that, whatever that would be.
All right, 15.
Yeah. So I am looking at the bank statement and just to give you an idea. So our operating account, if you want to scroll back and look at the cash statement again, where it says Fifth Third operating, as of February 28th, that was at 1.2 million. Our operating is at now $2 million.
We got
Oh,
800.
wow.
So
800,000.
we've gotten about 800.
So it was 3.5. That's about what, 15% now, maybe?
Yeah, whatever it is. I just see the deposit, I just see the amount. So we have gotten, let's see, we got 226,000 on yesterday. And I could,
Yeah, it's
and then, yeah. So I mean,
sort of
I'd have to go back and look at just the deposits, but we are starting to see the March tax receipt. So that's good.
I mean, it's just short of 20% at this point, and we're already in April coming up, so it's not a bad thing.
So sorry, if you want to go back to the check register.
Oh,
Okay.
there's someone named Chris Christmas? Is that
He's a presenter. He's
Real
the
person.
chess guy.
I figured, no, I just by the name, but okay.
Yeah.
That was the only question. Thanks.
Check 5043 Ford Space. Is that a furniture vendor?
Yes, that's for the I can't remember which furniture vendor.
Okay.
But yes, they are one of the furniture vendors for the renovation.
For the renovation. Okay, that's what I was just curious if that was renovation or elsewhere. So
Yeah, and you'll notice I glanced at it and I made a note for myself, and Bridget is coming on Tuesday. So there is, if you look at the income statement, if you look at the regular furniture line, it says that it's like 66% expended. That's because she took out one of the furniture checks that should have come out of the 7020 line, construction in progress. She took out a furniture, so we'll just have to get that recoded. So
okay.
Check 5071, which is to the Village of Morton Grove, which is, I mean, I know what that's for. That's for the IMRF, but it's only one check that was written.
yeah, so
Two
so
separate-
Bridget like combines the checks, and so this is our IMRF, the employee portion, the employer portion, and I believe included on that was also
Permits, water and elevator.
permits and water, and yeah, so she combined everything in one check, which is,
Check.
yeah.
Just so that you're not, because I thought maybe somebody would question that, but that's what it's for. That's it, right? Those are all the. Any more questions?
How many employees are left on the old MERF plan, the MERF plan?
one.
One? Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we're ready to vote on the financial reports for February 2021. Manzone? Eric, are you muted again?
Yes.
Thank you. Pelletier, yes. Puzo?
Yes.
Swanson?
Yes.
Jost?
Yes.
Gonzalez?
Yes.
Masajic?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so facilities we will get to. Policy, so next meeting is April 1st. And that kind of gets you on to the schedule that ideally like to be on, so, yeah, okay.
We'll
So
have a new
that'll-
board first, too.
Go ahead, Eric.
Oh, I'm sorry, we said we'll have a new board April 1st.
No,
The next consolidated election is April 6th.
Oh, April 6th, so I mean, whoever ends up being on the board after April 6th then.
well, it will be all of you. There were 3 open seats and there were 3 people running, so all of you. So it will be the same board.
Well, congratulations, guys, thank you.
Yeah, the village, a couple months ago, the village let me know, we clarified that there had only been 3 people that filed to run for library board, so. It was all of you. The 3 of you. I can't remember which 3.
So I think so is it Lima, Eric, and Tamara, right?
I know,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're stuck together for a little while longer, so,
Sorry about that, guys.
yeah, not at all. So, yeah, so, God, we're almost at April. Wow. Okay, so yeah, so the next policy meeting before the next board meeting. All right. So we could go right into staff reports. Anything else, Pam, that you'd like to share or highlight?
Nothing else that I want to add unless anyone has any questions or wants clarification from me.
So admin assistant, how's that going?
I had my final interview today. I've been doing all the interviews via Zoom, and we had some good candidates. I think right now I've got 3 that I'm thinking about. So I'm going to take a day or 2 to kind of think about the pros and cons for each of them and make a decision by sometime over the weekend. And then I had let everyone know that I would be in touch by Monday at the very latest. So my hope is to get someone in the position by April 1st or, early April. We'll see how that goes. So I think everyone that I spoke to had indicated that, starting in early April shouldn't be a problem. So we'll see. And it'll be, it's always, training's always, it might be hard, I think, just because there's so many other things going on, but it'll be good to have someone in that position. And like I said, I've got some really strong candidates that I think will be a real boon to not only the administration office, but the library as a whole. So.
All right, good to hear. The the gutters look so sad on the side of the building there.
It was, when it happened, was it last week? I can't even remember at this point. So Karina was actually at the east entrance because she was sitting there for curbside. And, there's been so much noise with construction going on. It's crazy. But she said she came running upstairs. She goes, the gutters just crashed down. And I'm like, oh my God. So we go out there and, there's still so much ice on them. And yeah, so Ed was up there and he tried to, get as much of the ice off as we could. And then we were really concerned about the rest of the gutters, which have stayed intact, thank gosh. And so we had someone out today to look at that section of the gutter just to give us a price for repairing that. And then the plan right now is to look at replacing all the gutters around the building sometime next year. But because some of the flashings and stuff came up, our concern is that if it rains or rains particularly hard, that more moisture will seep in between the brick and then the insulation of the building there.
Do we have a roof rake to kind of so snow doesn't kind of dam up, snow and ice doesn't dam up around the gutters? Do you know? I don't know if I'm saying the right, but it's like an extension thing where you can kind of brush off some of the snow and that kind of.
I don't think so. I'll have to talk to Ed about that for next year. I mean, our hope is, and Jason, the project manager from SMC, was there, obviously. And so we were talking a little bit about it, and he was suggesting some different things to look for next year, for when we do replace them. So So we'll have to see what other options we've got to, have them be as maintenance free as possible. They've been needing to be replaced for a few years now, so we just need to make that a priority, we think, next year.
Why are we
Yeah.
waiting till next year to replace them all? Why don't we just replace them all this year? I know it's probably not in the budget, or
Well, because I don't know what the budget will be. My guess is that it's probably going to be $20,000
uh-huh,
at least, and we hadn't budgeted for that amount in regular building maintenance. So
right.
we'll see what it costs. I'll have a better idea once they tell us like what just the one section will cost, but my thinking was that because we hadn't budgeted for that large of an expense out of the building maintenance thing with YS renovation going on. If that's within our budget this year, we'll certainly try to do it this year, but
I'm
that's,
just thinking, to get a price for both, which would make it more economical.
right. We'll talk, yeah, we're gonna do that so we can figure out what the cost is, because, depending on how much it costs to replace them all, if it's over $25,000, we'll have to go out for bid. So we'll just need to find out, but in the interim, we do need to do some repair on that side because there's flashings that are gone. And so if you're at the library, you can our concern is that there'll be more damage to the building if we don't do something right now.
No, you have to
Yep.
fix that, but I'm just thinking, to have them all come out at one time and repair the whole thing, which.
Yeah.
to me would be-
Yeah, we'll have to see. The other issue is that we wouldn't be able to do anything probably until after the renovation, just because there's so much traffic in the back. We'd have to coordinate that just because, with the trades and stuff like that. But we'll get all that information and decide, whether or not we've got the funds to do it for this year, or we'll have to wait.
Can you share more about Johnson Controls? And I saw that Ed mentioned how you're soliciting bids from mechanical groups for the fire sprinkler and fire burglar alarm maintenance. And so you guys haven't been grooving with Johnson Controls, I guess?
So Johnson Controls they've bought up just about everyone. So we use Johnson Controls for like three main things, the sprinkler system, the fire alarms, and whatever else, the third one, the panels or something like that. Like the key fobs and stuff to get in and out of the building. We used to have three different companies that did those three things. Like we used Johnson Controls for one thing, we used Alarm Security for something else, we used Tyco for something else. We used to have Alarm Security for the alarm system and then we switched to Johnson. But Johnson Controls bought up a company called Simplex Grinnell and also a company called Tyco. And so those were two other companies that we dealt with for various security and safety issues. Now, since Johnson Controls bought them all, it's always an adventure trying to figure out which part of Johnson Controls you're talking to, and to get them to come out and be responsive has gotten more and more difficult. And they're also very expensive. They've got somewhat of a monopoly on some of this stuff. So the pricing can get a little exorbitant. So Ed has been pretty unhappy with them in general. So we are getting, again, Jason has given Ed some other names to at least get, have them come out and take a look at things. People that are working on the lower level renovation, we're going to have them look at the rest of the system as well. So it's just a matter of, that they're pricey and they're not very responsive any longer to us. So, we're going to look at, farming that out to potentially different companies.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's not a headache that you want to necessarily.
Well, and like when I had to get additional, so we have key fobs for staff to get in and out of the back of the building, where the staff entrance is. And when I needed to buy key fobs, I literally spent an entire afternoon, 3 hours on the phone, trying to get the right Johnson & Johnson department and the right person just to order more key fobs. I mean, it's that kind of thing. It's just really frustrating. None of us have the time to mess around with things like that. So
yeah,
it's just really difficult.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to keep talking. Does anybody else have any questions or comments for Pam? I did have someone ask a question, Pam, about asking if, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer, but said, I have so many paper bags. I could donate some to the library. I'm like, oh, that's nice. But I also, I mean,
Yeah, that's actually a first for us. We haven't had that before. We typically probably wouldn't take them, because we get them and they have handles and we're not as concerned about fomite transmission of the virus, the virus on things, but we get them delivered clean and they're not, we're not having to go through them. Like if there was someone's groceries that they spilled something in or something like that. So, while we can appreciate the sentiment, at this point, we don't need them.
yeah. Well, and I also was like, well, we definitely, I don't think we'd want to open it into like a drop off your paper bags and we'll
Yeah, we
use it, because
don't.
then that's just going to basically become a recycling program,
Right.
Yeah. So, but worth at least mentioning, I guess. So.
Okay.
It looks like programming is staying pretty steady. I mean, people are taking advantage of the Zoom programming.
Yeah.
All right.
It was funny, the other day I was in my office and Amy from YS was in one of the study rooms doing story time, because obviously she can't be downstairs and it's easier for her to be in the library to do story time via Zoom. And because everything echoes upstairs and all the doors and stuff are open now because it's just staff in the building, but I listened to her whole story time. It was really fun. So as I was leaving, I complimented her and she's like, oh my God, did you hear it? I said, no, it was great. And she goes, well, at least someone enjoyed it. Because when she does it, she says it's just, she doesn't really see the kids or anything. So she said, it's really weird to not get that interaction. So, but it was really funny. She goes, well, I'm glad someone enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Next
All
time
right.
you could read just to you, Pam.
Yeah, that's what I told her. I said, just pretend you're reading to me.
Yeah, she can do like the little movements and
Exactly.
everything and put a smile on your face. Yeah. All right. We can move on to unfinished business. So reopening to the public. I did see communication go out, so we're still looking good for March 15th.
Yeah, so we're, at first Jason was asking, would we consider staying closed for another couple of days because there's some really noisy things that are coming, and it has been noisy. So he's been really appreciative that we were able to stay close to the public as long as we were. But what we decided to do instead was, because we were, we had put out that, potential opening on March 15th. So we wanted to stick to that, but we're going to open it at 2. So that gives the morning for the trades to do some things. So it ended up working out better because structural steel was delivered today. But apparently there was some mix up with the number of workers that were there. So while the steel was delivered, they weren't able to do any installation. So that's being pushed out a little bit more. So it just works out that we'll, have every morning next week for the trades to do what they need to do. And then we'll be open in the afternoon and evening. And then starting Saturday, the 20th, a week from this Saturday, we'll go back to our regular hours after that. So we figured that was a good compromise, that it gave the trades time to do all the noisy stuff that they needed to do in the morning and still sticking to that reopening date.
When are you reopening with the regular times again?
So a week from Saturday, that first Saturday will be our normal hours, 9 to 5 on that Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday, and then the following week will just be the 9 to 9 and stuff. So it's just it's just next week, Carlotta, that will be the 2 to 9, or that will be closed in the mornings.
Okay. All right.
All right. Okay, so lower level renovation, updates, asbestos abatement.
So the asbestos abatement has gone really well, but we did discover more asbestos downstairs as things got, demoed, which is not a surprise given the age of the various additions and, previous renovation work in the library. So everything we're still on track in terms of budget. There is some overage with that, but, we're saving some money in some other areas. We did have contingency and allowances in each of the budget lines, so we're okay. And Jason is great about keeping me really up to date on all those things. And, our general feeling, he and I talked about it and I said, so there's some extra things that we weren't planning on. We actually got rid of the boiler and the incinerator that was in the room that was back behind the kitchen that was really crowded and you couldn't really get into. Those were not being used. And so Jason's suggestion was that, if we had the funds, he said it would make sense to get rid of those things now. And it absolutely does make sense because when else would we ever do that? And there was asbestos found in the boiler. So there was some extra with that, as well as some additional stuff found, more pipe fittings, and then another section of tile had to be abated. So we're doing all of that. Because this way too, then we can look at, then we can truly say that the entire library is now asbestos free. So we're taking care of those things. And in fact, the company that's doing the abatement is actually they agreed to do a second shift. So for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and tomorrow night, so that abating these extra areas would not delay any of the other construction activities. So they're doing second shift stuff for with no additional cost. So they're doing 3 to 11 Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So
Great, yeah,
it just made sense to do it. It didn't make sense
Yeah.
to kind of, paper over it, if you will, and then know that, kicking the can down the road. It just made a lot of sense to do it now.
yeah, yeah. Well, and it's just peace of mind knowing that we're doing it right. We're not,
Right.
there's no scary things literally lurking behind the walls, so
Yeah.
yeah. So well,
So
and
we-
that's great. I'm glad that the companies have been easy to work with and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
can add so much more stress. So
Yeah, it's and again, I know I said this last month too, but I mean, having Jason there and having SMC as the construction management firm, I mean, we absolutely made the right decision with that. It has been just a godsend to have him there, and so much I don't have to worry about, and that he makes sure I know anything that I do need to worry about and make decisions about. But it's just really has been great to have someone so knowledgeable and so easy to work with there. So, and really has a handle on the various trades and what needs to be done.
yeah, great. So telephones.
So I think I mentioned that we discovered that we needed to get new phones, and we're originally slated to get them on the 10th. But Comcast was having problems getting our numbers ported over. I know just enough to be dangerous with the phone, so I understand everything that they were trying to figure out. But either through AT&T or our current phone system selling phone lines or something like that, when they were looking at all the various numbers that we didn't even really know we had, they said, well, we have 4 different companies that you apparently have phone service with. And I'm like, well, that's news to me. But anyway, so they were having problems with porting the phone numbers over. We finally got that straightened out. And so the new phones are going to be installed on Tuesday, on the 16th. So just wanted to give you a quick update on where we were at with that.
Yay.
Yes.
That was still like an incredible savings that
Yeah, it'll be, I am looking forward to not paying those first com bills every month, which are $930. So yeah, it'll be great.
yeah.
So they tell us we won't, at first they're like, oh, you're going to be, this is what Comcast said to us, at least like the sales rep, that we were going to be without phones for like 8 or 9 hours. And, we were really hoping to get the phones done before we opened, but it is what it is. And, but then when Comcast came out and they did what they call a survey, just made sure all the lines were right and ready to go for when the install comes. And so we asked the guy who was out doing the survey, we said, how long will we really be down, especially now that we knew we were going to, have to do this on a day that we had said we would be open. And he said, no, he goes, you won't be down really. He goes, so most of the setup is done on the phones. He goes, and then you just swap them out. So fingers crossed that goes as smoothly as they say that it will. Jerry, one of the engineers from OSG, our IT outsource firm, is going to be out on Tuesday all day for this as well. So that'll be really helpful. But I'm hoping, like you said, that we won't be down at all.
Yeah.
Famous
Yeah.
last words, but it is what it is. I mean, you just got to make it work when it happens. So
Yeah.
Because they were holding off on some things in the renovation to make sure, so they could get rid of some of the additional or old phone lines that we weren't going to be doing. So we need to do this so we can finish up all the electrical stuff downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. And next we have, we need to approve the SMC pay packet.
Yeah, so this is the first pay packet, and what will happen, I talked to Carlotta about this when she was in, is that every month, because the type of contract we signed with SMC, they're actually, and I'm going to get this wrong, there's two different types of construction management firms. We got the one where they are responsible for paying all of the subcontractors. So what will happen is every month, SMC will look at all of the bills that they have received from the various subcontractors. They will make sure that they are correct, that the work has been done, that we're being billed for. They sign off on them. They forward them to the architect who looks at everything and makes sure everything is okay. And then they sign off and then they send it to me. So every month the board will have to look at the pay packet, but this has already been seen by both SMC and Product Architecture Plus Design. And then once this is released by the board, then we just make the check out to SMC and then they worry about paying all the subs. We don't have to worry about, is it a drywall guy, the electrician, the demo guy? That's all on SMC. We don't have to worry about that.
So all those individual, so those aren't going to be in our check register. All
Those, right. So what you'll see though, if you look at the pay packet, you'll see all the different subcontractors that SMC will pay, but the only thing that will come out of our checking account is the one check for $94,000 or whatever that month is, but this month it's the $94,000
Okay.
that goes to SMC. And then it's between SMC and any subs about any pay, issues or anything like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
We've already issued that check, correct?
So because Bridget is only out 2 times a month, the last time that she came out, I did have her cut the check, though I have not sent it out because I was waiting until the board approved that. So that's still sitting in my office, Carlotta. So that check has been cut and signed, but not sent out yet because we hadn't approved this, or the board hadn't approved this.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'll make a motion to approve the SMC pay packet in the amount of $94,636.20.
I'll second that.
Thank you.
Okay. Pelletier, yes. Puzo,
Yes.
Swanson,
Oh, no, sorry.
sorry, did Mick respond?
I didn't hear him.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Jost,
Yes.
Gonzalez? Gonzalez? Carlotta, are you there?
That was yes.
Sorry, I didn't hear anything. Mazajek?
Yes.
Thank you. Munzo?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So now we are up to new business. So we have the resolution amending the Morton Grove Public Library 2021 budget. So this is just the official one that goes on record, basically, for our 2021 budget.
Right, so legally, we have to make sure that the budget reflects the amount of money. Like, we can't spend money we didn't budget for, technically. So we're amending the budget to show that we're now budgeting for this, is basically what it says. It's fairly typical. Anytime you get, any substantial amount of money that you weren't necessarily planning on, it's always a good idea to amend the budget. This is similar to what we did during the renovation of the main level and the mezzanine level. The same thing, that they had cashed in the special reserve funds there and then amended the budget. And then we just send a letter to the village letting them know that we have officially amended our budget. But as the resolution states, it does not impact the amount of the levy amount that we've asked for from the village. It's just for a bookkeeping accounting purposes. And then the budget, or the amendment also, sorry, this resolution also is to give me approval to move the monies in special reserve to operating accounts, because I still have that money in the special reserve account and I have not yet moved that. So this resolution also gives permission to do that.
Is the resolution number 2021 dash something?
Oh, one, yeah, Frank sent it to me as a PDF. So I'll write that in officially when I have the
I just wanna
official
write it
signed
for-
copy. Yeah, but it's 2021. It's the first resolution of this year.
Well, I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-01, resolution amending the Morton Grove Public Library 2021 budget.
I'll second.
You, we'll vote on that. Puzo,
Yes.
Swanson,
Yes.
Jost,
Yes.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Lisa Jack,
Yes.
Monzone,
Yes.
Pelletier, yes. Thank you.
Great. Okay, next, well, I did jump the gun that with the administrative assistant position.
That's
So-
fine.
We already chatted about that.
Yeah.
Okay, next, the Open Meetings Act compliance.
So I just wanted to keep that on there because I know that we need to do that. I did not get a chance to pull all those things together for this month. So I hope to do that in April. At the very latest, we would do that would be at our July meeting. So there's not a lot of closed session minutes to review. So I don't think, depending on how things go, but I am going to try to get that done for our April meeting. But I did want to keep it on the agenda so that the board knows that I have not forgotten about it and that, the general public knows that we are planning on doing it as well.
All right. And of course, Karina's ever popular stats. As always, does a great job with that. Communications, I don't think we saw any.
No, nothing this month.
Okay. All right, so next we have public comments, non-agenda items. It is still just us. So that was a quick, efficient meeting. So I have 7:41.
So I did, real quick, if that's okay with everyone, Jason and I were thinking that in April, depending on what happens and, in terms of like whether or not open meetings will allow us to continue to meet remotely or whatever, I haven't heard that they're going to change it yet, but we were both thinking that that would be a good time if the board wanted to take a walk through the new space downstairs, that there would be there's enough change down there right now, but we thought it would be a good time because all the demo stuff would be done. So to have the board do a walkthrough of that, so we can work on scheduling that if you want, or if we're still meeting virtually, if you want to contact me about seeing the space, we can make those arrangements as well too. Because I think you'll all really enjoy seeing it. It's kind of amazing, actually. So it'll just be so nice when it's done, and it's already, you know, just the changes and stuff already are really dramatic.
Yeah, definitely. I think we'd all love to see the space.
So yeah, I'm keeping an eye obviously on, whatever regulations are about Open Meetings Act and stuff like that. But, if we do end up having to meet virtually still, and we probably will, we can make some arrangements to have you guys come and do a little field trip through the lower level.
Yeah, great.
And that's all I had, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Yeah, yeah. But we are adjourned as of 7:41. The next meeting, April 8th,
Oh.
2021.
All right, guys.
Right.
Take
Yeah.
care, everybody.
So, yep. Talk to you guys later. Thanks.
Here, bye.
Bye.
Feel better with the flu shot.
I
Go to
am.
bed.